saw all of Ari Asters films um, in a kind of small time frame, I guess. And I think I watched Hereditary, and then it's undoubtedly a powerful filmmaker. Um, and then, of course, yeah, there was Dream Scenario, which he was not the director of. He was a producer, maybe the producer, who knows. But in context, I would definitely call that an Ari Aster film. It felt like an Ari Aster film. It felt like the kind of film that he could make, that he would make. Um, and yeah, with like his films are, well, they're the kind of films that really stay with you for a long time and almost haunt you, the way that they balance these um, almost mundane situations or setup of the society of the world that's created in there, and then it just goes haywire. And um, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm watching Beau is Afraid right at the moment, and I'm feeling traumatized. Like, it was really surprising for me when I went to the shop where I bought the DVD that I was afraid wasn't in the horror section, because for me, that film is one of the most disturbing, horrifying, terrifying film experiences I've ever had. I mean, talk about a hellscape. And I will talk about a hellscape because my theory for a long time has been that Ari Aster's films are a presentation of what hell could be like if um if it really exists. Um, but I think the cardinal rule of hell is you don't know you're there. It's just it's not a place. It's an experiential sort of reality, I guess. Um, and it lasts forever. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that was my idea about it. And with further thought, I'm like, maybe each of Ari Aster's films are set in one of the circles of hell from Dante, I guess. And of course, not having studied the classics, I didn't know what they were, so it was merely conjecture. And of course, um, you can kind of spin these things in your own way and make it more feasible, I guess, that my theory is correct or not. That each of Ari Aster's films is set in in a separate circle of hell. But um, I think when I read what the circles of hell are and their realities, it's like, yeah, I can kind of see how that works, because while the terror and horrifying nature of his films is kind of is very solid, is very consistent, I guess. Um, they're all terrifying in their own way, but each one of them is like so different. Um, I mean, and that slow burn nature and the way, yeah, it's like each circle of hell has a different kind of physical consistency that means that the horrifying nature of the person's experience is going to unfold and become different through that experience, I guess. So let's just talk about the 9 circles of hell and what we have to look forward to, because at the moment, as I say, he's had 3 films that he directed, and then Dream Scenario, which he produced. And now he's actually got 5. He's got 1 film ready to release this year called Sasquatch Sunset. And these are all things that he's executive producer on. So I may be completely wrong about how these go. I'll just have to wait and see what happens with them, I guess. But yeah, he's got Sasquatch Sunset, Rumors, Death of a Unicorn, Lonely Hearts Club, and finally Save the Green Planet. Um, and even just putting those in with their consistent circle of hell, it kind of makes you go, wow, this is, maybe I'm on something here. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But um, Ari Aster is a very important director, and he actually wrote a um, essay at some point. I haven't read it, called Real Afterlife. So yeah, I think um, my feeling on this is really solid. And let me know what you think if you're an Ari Aster fan. I've got 2 people watching. They're gonna drop off in a second. Boop. But yeah, we'll talk about the 9 circles of hell and see how they how they could possibly, feasibly be linked to the subsequent films of this amazing director. And he was born in 1986. And I know those motherfuckers from 1986 babies. They're fucking wild childs. Like they're living one hand in their pocket and the other hand in Beelzebub's hand, or up his ass. I don't know, but yeah, they those ones are totally born to lose something. Anyway, 9 circles of hell. 1. Limbo, where those who never knew Christ exist. 2. Lust, self-explanatory. 3. Gluttony, um, where those who overindulge exist. 4. Greed, do not directly interact with any inhabitants. That's what the travelers did and stuff. So that's interesting. Next, anger, actions in nature could lead to permanent torture. Then heresy, rejection of norms. Final 7th circle is violence, and there's 3 different sections: violence against people and property, violence against self, and violence against God. So if he's going to make a film in that's gonna be a hard NC-17. I can't even. Yeah. Well, for the second final, 8 is fraud, so conscious and willing, and it's divided into 10 sections for seducers, flatterers, simoniacs, and that's simoniacs. I can't recall what that is off the top of my head. False prophets, corrupt politicians, hypocrites, false counselors, schismatics, and perjurers. And then treachery is the final circle, where getting close to where the devil stands, and that has family traitors and political traitors. Um, so yeah, if we look, so I've only got four to go on to begin with, and then I'm thinking maybe I'm in the right direction, but maybe each of these films is the cycle from the outer circle right into the center, But I'd have to watch them again, and as I say, I'm only a little bit away. I'm I mean, Beau is Afraid is a 3 hour film, and I think I've only watched about an hour of it so far, maybe. So it's hard to say. But hear me out, okay? Hereditary, Limbo, and from what I recall of that film, that definitely did have a very sort of um, the mother spent her time building um doll houses. It seems like the kind of thing a person would do in Limbo, maybe. Um, and these things just keep on happening. And it's probably the most supernatural of his films. Um, yeah, so that's Hereditary. Again, I'd have to watch it. I don't have a copy of it, so I can't go too deep in it. But the things that happen is definitely conducive to a godless experience, I guess. Um, so yeah, and then the second circle of hell, lust, midsummer. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's definitely going through. Um, and again, lust is not purely sexual, of course. It has many different layers, but there is definitely that storyline within that film that suggests that it is about that circle. Again, I can't go too deep in it because I don't have. I've got a copy of it, and I'll have to watch it again and maybe get back to you. But third, gluttony, um, and that is Beau is Afraid. Is he a glutton? Kind of like a glutton for punishment or something. And there, of course, is kind of symbolic imagery within that would suggest that gluttony may be the thing. There's that obese ex-soldier who runs around going crazy and things. Um, Everybody, the drug addicts at the beginning. I mean, drug addiction is just gluttony personified. And then there's a scene where the daughter in that family drinks a whole bunch of paint, like a yeah. So perhaps that's what it is. It's gluttony, and just thinking I can't barely even talk about it because it's still fresh in my mind. I'd have to like before I do that for my cult season. I have to watch it again and think about it and stuff, especially with this in the context. Um, and then four is greed, and if you've seen Dream Scenario, there is quite a bit of food imagery within it, and also Nicolas Cage's character is kind of greedy for success. Um, he wants to kind of know. Um, he'll go to any length to find that, I guess. And interestingly, it says they so back to Beau is Afraid, with that circle, it says there are ordinary people there. So, in the context of Beau is Afraid, they are all just kind of mundane, normal people who are just going weird, weird. Um, yeah, it's a funny one. And then in Greed, It says they do not directly interact with any inhabitants, which for me suggests that imagery that um the plot of Dream Scenario is basically that Nicolas Cage's character ends up turning up in all these people's dreams. So again, that like there's no direct interaction between them, but for the dreamer, it's absolutely real and stuff. Um, and yeah, as the film goes on, there's this kind of escalation of what he will do in these dreams, which is like very kind of that idea of greed. It starts out small, and then it's like want more, want more, want more, want more, want more. Maybe that's what it means. So yeah, basically, it's not a great video. It's just for me to look back and see whether this concept has any traction. And as I say, I'll just show. So 5 is anger. Actions in nature could lead to permanent torture. And his fifth film coming out this year as a producer is Sasquatch Sunset. So that could Sasquatch are quite angry beasts, aren't they? Maybe, maybe. Sixth is heresy, and that is rumors. And heresy is spread by rumors. Um, or rumors are spread by heresy, I should say. So there's definitely something in that I could suggest. Seven, violence. And that film is called Death of a Unicorn. Hmm? Maybe. Maybe. Eight, fraud. And the film it's actually a TV series called Lonely Hearts Club. And as I say, that that includes seducers, flatterers, hypocrites, all sort of, what's the word, eponymous, but could be could be directly connected with the concept of a lonely hearts club. People who are susceptible to fraud, you know. Um, so yeah, and finally, treachery, save the green planet, which I think is a remake of a Korean film. So maybe there's a hole in my theory there. But I just thought I'd put it out there. No matter what, I do certainly believe that his films are set in a hell reality, because they really are terrifying experiences. And if you haven't watched an Ari Aster film, I feel happy for you. For one, you don't have the psychological pain, the experience of watching these films and just going, I'm keep watching this, but I don't want to because it's so horrible. And then the other thing I'm envious of you is you've still got that experience ahead of you whenever you want to go in for it. It really is just wow. I'll leave it at that. Let me know if you want to say anything and think about it and stuff. But yeah, Ari Aster's films and the Nine Circles of Hell. I think there's something in there. I don't hear anyone else talking these things, but I definitely think, and well, in a way, maybe all horror films are set in hell, and that's the point, you know. Thank you. Just my 2 cents, and thanks for the people who've been watching. And I will catch you when I catch you. And remember, if you get angry, you're doing it wrong. Bye.